Hi, I'm Professor Cripps. I'm a chief investigator and a lead on the Indigenous Future Lives Workstream at CEVAW. And I just want to begin by acknowledging country that we are on the lands of the Bunurong people here at Monash Clayton campus, and to acknowledge both our elders past and present, and that we wouldn't be able to do this wonderful work if it wasn't for them. So my key research focus in this work stream is on our future lives. So both recognising the significance of violence in the moment. So looking at both missing and murdered Indigenous women and the significance of that for our families who have lost their loved ones, how they hold that, the kinds of supports that are available or not available as the case may be as they navigate the systems that are there for them in the aftermath of death, but also reflecting on the system accountability that is responsive or not to their loved ones who have passed. So did the police respond appropriately to the calls for help? Did services exist for our women and our children in those times of need? So I'd like to share some of the insights that we've found already in some of our research. So we have been doing workshops earlier this year with UNFPA, one of our partners, having workshops around the globe in respect of femicide, and just appreciating how people use that word femicide to refer to missing and murdered Indigenous women. Is it a common word that we associate with missing and murdered Indigenous women? What are the issues that are associated with this particular issue? And it's been a really useful process of appreciating that for Indigenous people, there are many similarities, but there are also differences across the globe in terms of our experiences of this really important issue. And the data is really important in terms of how we document and engage with this issue for advocacy. So I think one of the importance part of this research is being able to be both responsive to community and also speaking this research up to policy at the same time. So the beauty of this research has been we've already been able to contribute to the development of the Our Ways, Strong Ways, Our Voices National Plan for Indigenous Peoples Family Safety that was launched earlier this year. So I was involved in helping draft that on the steering committee, and the Minister launched that in February. And certainly we've also been with community, working alongside them with our partners, doing training, doing evaluations, and we'll continue to do that through the life course of CEVAW. From my perspective, CEVAW runs with Indigenous, interdisciplinary and Indo-Pacific as our three eyes in the work that we do. These are key to the decisions, but also to our projects. Our project looking at working alongside UNFPA for the femicide workshops was both interdisciplinary. It was also looking at the Indo-Pacific. So we had global workshops with people from Australia and the Pacific, as well as from other areas around the globe. And also focusing specifically on Indigenous experiences. So the usefulness of that, being able to reflect on both the lived experiences of being Indigenous women, as well as the experiences of engaging with systems, data systems, legal systems, social systems, and what that all means as we understand how people have become missing and murdered is actually imperative to how we then respond to missing and murdered at all the levels. So that has been particularly useful in the way in which we've approached that issue. Similarly, when we've looked at responding to other issues in our workstream around training, we've had conversations with Breaking Silent Codes, for example, around workforce issues. How do we train our workforce to be responsive here in Australia, but also in the Indo-Pacific, recognising that they have similar issues around breaking the silence, or around sexual assault and other violence-related issues, with also having similar issues around resource access. We work with a number of partners, including UNFPA, Breaking Silent Codes. We have also worked with the Aboriginal Women's Advisory Network and Warringabaya. We're working alongside government in terms of developing national plans and responding to the monitoring and evaluation of those plans. We're also working with other Aboriginal organisations as they reach out to us to be responsive to the work plans that they need attention to. Yeah, these partners have brought a range of interesting insights. So I always find engaging with community to be awe-inspiring. In that they always have something to share, and you always come away having learned something, and they are the bright spark in your day, because sitting with aunties, whether it be on the phone or on Zoom or in person, you are reflecting on something that is of passion to you all. And so it is that opportunity to work out what are we here to work on today? What is it that is the task that we need to address for now and for the future? So the next phase of this research involves a number of areas. So we have an impact evaluation that we're getting underway at the moment, working with my favourite people in community, that involves looking at how they're doing prevention work with our young people. And that will be a lot of interesting work, I think, around how we package that story. How do we engage families and little ones around what are healthy relationships, what's safety, what does violence look like, but also what does safety look like? And so that will be a really interesting evaluation. We're also continuing the work around missing and murdered Indigenous women, continuing our work on coronial inquests and the reflections that we're doing in that space. And also the work that we've been doing around how do we commemorate those that we've lost to violence against women and its implications for the family members that are left behind. So we'll continue that work. Then we're also really keen to get into that workforce issue. How do we support our workforce better? So both our workforce that funded and our workforce that are our unsung heroes. Those that aren't paid but are doing this work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Those aunties and uncles, those brothers and sisters that are opening their hearts and their homes to provide that safety to our community members. It's supporting them in their efforts. Success in this space would be, in many ways, thinking about how we build capacity, how we build hope, where there hasn't been a lot of hope. It's how we build strength and continue to foster that strength in our families, our communities, our services. It's how we do what we say we're going to do and have been saying we would do for a really long time. And that's breaking the silo thinking. That strength of that third eye on interdisciplinary. Whilst ever we continue to focus on our singular discipline, our singular silo, then we don't see the whole person. We don't see the whole family, we don't see the whole community. And that puts us at a great disadvantage when we are responding to people in need. My advice to policy makers and to practitioners and those that have the power to make decisions in this area is to hear and to listen. It is to appreciate what it is for victims of violence to come and share their story with you, to appreciate what it is that they're expecting of you in that moment, to not make assumptions, to actually sit with them in that story and to be responsive to that story, recognizing the bravery and courage that it takes for them to come and share that story. It's the bravery and courage of women and children and families that inspires me in this work. They lift me up in terms of the work that they are doing every single day to survive in a world that often feels unkind to them. And it's about how we embrace them so that they feel supported, they feel loved, and they feel that there is someone at their back holding them. I do feel hopeful that we can make a difference and that we are making a difference. I've been working in this field for over 30 years. Did my first sexual assault in the law conference when I was just gone 19. And there has been a lot of change in that period. And we will continue to make change. We are all committed to that process.